So, time for soO. The action is moving on quickly today. Better not blink when you might miss it. Top left hand side. In the winner's match, our blue Chinese Terran is time. Bottom right, we have the red Zerg player. This is soO. 2-0 against stats, just like that. It's like, hello, hi, no problem, thank you. Just walks away with all the money. Whoosh coming in with the gifted sub to Housey. Thank you so much for gifting out a sub. Welcome Housey to the Wardy family. How you doing? So we get this ready to rumble. A couple of hatcheries down and producing a couple bits and pieces. As we do see the Overlord pushing out onto the center of the map. Command Center continue to produce a few SCVs here. Early game TVZ on Kairos is not too crazy usually. I'll tell you what, the big thing is usually tank pushes that siege up on these rocks and push into the third base. It can be very, very dangerous. So that's something you want to maybe try and get ahead of here as soO. You want to try and get ahead of that as soO by taking those rocks down is actually a very common way of going about this. And yeah. There's a couple different ways to work on all of that. So you're going to see this Overlord heading towards the upper left side in a moment or two. Reaper is on its way out. It's going to start heading down to the bottom right-hand side. And we do have the little bit of a pressure then coming in from our Terran. I mean, a very standard way for him to get this started, really. So no real surprises here. As that link speed is on its way, couple of queens, few zerglings. All of this getting set to go. Drone going to come over towards the third hatchery as well. Ready to pop that down. And get that underway. Reaper doing a little bit of damage. Lings are moving backwards and forwards a bit. Only the 4 lings here rather than the 6. Just trying to get an extra drone out basically, soO. So cutting a corner or so, but yeah, I mean, these lings take quite a bit of damage so far. But with the queen coming out, obviously the Reaper cannot stick around forever. And the Reaper is going to have to find itself backing away there, more so than anything else. Factory about to finish up from time as well, so as he finishes that factory, you can also put a starport down, and the factory will swap on towards the reactor, and we start to see just where this game is going to be headed as factory onto the reactor, Rax moves up a little bit as well, and we're going to be seeing that Reaper just coming out over to the right side. You're going to see that third hatchery, which is about halfway done here at the moment. Starport on the way up as we see the orbital command about to complete. Reaper grenade going down there on the right side. A little bit of creep setting up from soO, so these creep team is going to start pressing forwards. Obviously getting creep team down towards the third base, very important as well. The more creep you have out in front of this third base, the more difficult it is going to be for the Terran to push that position. The easier it is going to be for you to defend that position, which is obviously a huge part of the earlier stages of the game. Banshee and a cloak upgrade on the way as well here from time. As we do see the supply depot just chilling out at the front. A couple of Hellions moving forwards as well. Another depot probably going to come down. Boom, there you go. A couple of depots to start this wall off here across the front of the natural expansion. Okay, the 2 Hellions and the Reaper will come around to the right side. They're immediately going to find themselves able to deal some damage to that hatchery here. So a couple of shots going down. Armory is getting started up here from time as well, so gets that armory underway. And again, Banshee about to finish. Cloak halfway done already. Just a very standard Hellion Banshee opening here, although with that armory, of course, it turns into a bit of a Hellbat Banshee attack. It does mean the third ZvT will be a bit delayed. And it's actually time to get supply blocked. Just needs to make sure he's walled off here is the most important thing. There's a couple of Hellions still kind of poking around. Ooh, Hellions run by, and SCVs will immediately play, and that's a fresh mule that goes down though. That's about 200 minerals you lose out on there essentially as the Terran player, so that's a big pick off for those lings. Quick and easy to kill, as now the army is done. The Hellbats will start to march forwards, and soO will have prepared for this Izzy. I would kind of tend to say he isn't. Not even a cloak upgrade, not even a detection. A sport roll ready for the Banshee here, as these queens are going to take some absolute monstrous damage. Already one queen in the front going down, queen in the back gets taken down as well. These other queens in some trouble. And Banshee now seen by the spore crawler. But all of the queens going down. Now the drone's in trouble as well, and soO is being set on fire. Now that's going to have to keep on wandering with another queen coming out. More Lings just streaming in, but the Lings are streaming into choke points and everything, so it's really not working out so well for him. This Banshee pulls away just in time when the queens go down anyways. Now the Banshee combo is going to continue onto the hatchery. A lot of damage dealt here by Time, going to put himself in a great position. And obviously Macro behind it, extra engineering base, extra barracks. Fed CC is going to be finishing shortly as well. And just relocating to stay out of range of that Spore Crawl at the moment. Flight in, he really knows, I think, that he can get this base. Just trying to stay out of range of the Spore. Queen about to pop. Oh, it's going to be super close. If he wants to get it, he has to go for it now, and he will get it. Costs him both of the Banshees, but completely worthwhile to kill the third hatch. Time makes the dive work, and is able to pick up that hatchery kill. Well, counter-bailing busted the play from soO. Tell you what, there is not a lot here from Time, so this is really a good opportunity for soO to get back in the game. There is a tank on the way, Marine production starting, but not that much right away. So here we go, a couple of Hellions will morph into Hellbats to try and buy some time. T-Pose will come up on this ramp to wall off. Hellion behind the wall off as well as obviously the entire natural expansion. It's going to be into some heavy fire. Oh my god, 25 workers go down just like that. Bane's exploding here. Well, I'll tell you what though, the Bane's going down means it's only Lings left over, which Marines will deal with. So that's some good counter damage by soO. 26 workers killed. Puts Time down by 14 workers, but he has triple CC, so rebuilding workers is not an issue. And soO is still, even though he's up 10 workers, probably not quite perfect on economy because he is long distance mining with a bunch of those workers. So he's actually essentially down on like 30-ish workers himself for a moment until his third hatchery finishes up. Stimpack about to complete here as 1-1 upgrades coming through as well. A few more Marines as medevac, all on the way at the moment. You just see Time moving out onto the map. Well, I mean, again, just the sole medevac, clean up some of this creep spread. Any pressure you can apply on the map, any presence you can have on the map is usually so very strong here for the Terran in this early stage of the game. As here we go, immediately jumping onto an Overlord. This Overlord goes down. Medevac takes a couple of shots from the Queens. These Marines will just kite back, waiting for combat shields and 1-1 upgrades to finish. Then they're going to be really powerful. And the medevac pops out. We'll see if that comes straight across the map too. Contaminate on the factory slows down siege tank production. Always nice, I guess, because the less tanks there are, you know, if there's anything you're going to contaminate here, tank is actually one of the best things, because contaminate racks, I mean, 2 Marines, what is that versus a siege tank? Less siege tanks, the better time you're going to have as soO, if you're going to have a good time at all, which just might not be the case. He's got no upgrades at all. He's at least going to have Bane speed finishing, as we do see Time getting ready to press into this position here. But, I mean, he starts 1-1 as +2 starts from the Terran player. Scan comes in, first little bit of creep spread being cleaned out pretty swiftly. Here comes the Lings and the Banes. The tank actually unsieged. Marines will just load up into the medevac. The tank has re-sieged. Tank just wasn't in the right mode at all at any point of this. Target fire a couple of these Banelings and he'd be okay, but he doesn't do it. He doesn't lift back up in time either, so he loses about 8 of these. Painful for Time. Not the sort of push he was looking for here when he has that 1-1 advantage. Hydra's Den is on the way up here from soO as well in the back of the natural. Going to be seeing that 4th hatchery coming in from soO as well now on the right side. Zerglin running around the top as we do see this medevac going to load up, or 2 medevacs going to load up and head down to the south. A few more Zerglings running over the left side. So the 2 medevacs all the way down to the south here. As again, those Zerglings get together on the left. Marines begin to unload. As Marines begin to unload, they'll head on forwards and look to poke their way through a few of these creep tumors. Lings and Banes up the right side, gonna have to come back down. Medevacs and Marines able to pick up another creep tumor or 2 here. And those few Marines at Time just spreading out a little bit. Tank setting up behind all of this. Lings and Banes still pressing forwards, and just gonna be seeing those Marines jumping up into the medevacs there. Meanwhile, we do just see soO just heading in towards the upper right side. More creep spreading forwards at the moment. Just gonna see a good amount of Marines so far. Picking up a bunch of creep tumors. Oh, nearly grabbed the Queen. Does get that Queen in the end. A couple more Lings starting to go down against him and all the way forwards. Marine's gonna pull back a little bit. Nice lift up here, Time. This is sort of the Time we know. Time is one of those Terran players that loves his drop play. He will drop here, he will drop there. He'll be all around the map constantly throughout a game if you let him. So that was why I was kind of so surprised to see that attack on the top right side not be kind of babysat super carefully, because it is just time is very good at babysitting those sort of things. He's loading up into the medevacs again, going to back up towards the upper left. Lings, Banes, and Hydras all coming around over the right-hand side, continuing to get set together. A few more Banes on the way in. +2/+2 melee upgrades, Hydra's speed as well. All of this getting going. We'll see more of this creep spreading out to the top side. He's going to stem forwards here as the Lings and Banes continue to come forwards. Tanks will get sieged up. So the tanks get sieged up here again. A few of these creep tumors going down. And Banes around the top side, and still have soO getting set to go. Tank's going to set up again. Fire's going to be pretty good here. And he's 2-2 against 1-1. The upgrade difference is absolutely monumental. And well, the only Marines left over, but as long as he splits against those Banes, he should be kind of okay with this. And the pre-split is very good. Really good pre-split here. And again, remember, the 2-2 upgrades will help him clean out so much of this as it runs in. It's going to be another very good trade from time as he lifts up a few units, but reinforcements coming over. Yeah, I think he doesn't need to lift up at all. I think he can just press forwards and end this game right here and now. soO will start losing his Hydras, his Queen's dropping as well. And going to be seeing the rest of this getting cleaned up. A couple of tanks teaching up too. I'm going to be seeing those drones getting picked off. This hatchery will go down. And that seems to be pretty much heading towards the GG in the next couple of moments. We're going to see the rest of the Lings continue to come in. The Hydras still taking some damage as well, and a couple of Banes also being picked apart. That's going to be GG. Time takes game number 1 of this best of 3. Let's see what happens as we have to the top right-hand side our blue Terran player. This is time. Bottom left side, our red Zerg is soO. See if we can bounce back and pick up map number 2 here to give us a bit of a series in this game. It'd be nice. I like seeing matches go the distance, and it feels like we haven't had enough matches go the distance lately. So it'd be cool to get that going. As we get this underway. Hatch setting up in the bottom left. Going to see this Overlord coming across over the right hand side as well here. So early game is a little bit aggressive because soO has opted for that pool first. We'll get a few Zerglings up. When is the round of 8 going to be? The round of 8 is going to be on January 2nd. Now, it's a bit of an issue for me because I'm actually meant to get internet in my new place on January 2nd. So I'm going to try and bribe my parents into babysitting my house while my internet gets put in. While I come and cast this tournament, basically. Is my plan. That is my plan. Feelings heading across the map here to get us started. As we mentioned before, obviously, with the pool first, you get a little bit of aggression going, so that's what we're seeing right here. A little bit of aggression just starting out. Kind of depends what time does with the Reaper. So Reaper is currently coming across the map, so he will be a bit out of position, but he has a Marine, so if SCV is pulled, he should be able to deal with this without too much issue. We'll see what how much damage is going to be done here by soO. Reaper will notice that this is not a hatchery first by the lack of troop spread being far forward, so immediately pulls back home. This was only 4 Zerglings, so it's not too many. A few SCVs pulling down there with the Marine. I'm going to try and see what they can do as SCV takes a little bit of damage. And the SCVs pulling in and just going to be seeing SCV going down. And again, a couple of Lings pulling in towards the upper right-hand side. As we're all going to be seeing good defense in the end. So a lot of lost mining time here already. A lot of lost mining time here already. Just going to see the Lings continue to go down as well. Factory drops down the reactors. The first Hellions can get started. time lost 26 workers and still won. What's going on? I mean, you kill a third hatchery, you stop the Zerg from producing workers for about 5 minutes. Not quite, but Time did enough damage with his hardbat push that even losing 26 workers, he was still in a great position. He had upgrades versus no upgrades, and he was still equal on economy at least because soO was long distance mining with his worker lead. So he wasn't even really a worker lead. That's one answer. The other answer is that Terran is just fucking broken. How on earth does anyone even think this race is fair? Does anyone else think Zerg needs like a 7,000 buffs? I do. Fusion Core coming up behind the Naturals. We do see Reaper going to hop up from time. Overlord is overhead there. There's a couple of Hellions pass on by as well. And we're going to be seeing that Rotron just about halfway done as we do see the Jimmy taking a little bit of damage there. A couple of Hellions, the Reaper then around the right side. We're going to hop in towards the third base, which is just about to finish though. Picking up early information. Nothing crazy here either. 7 roaches though from soO. That is also going to be a little bit aggressive, isn't it? Roachling all in against the Battlecruiser build is generally pretty good, and he does have link speed, so it should be Roachling, although he starts 5 drones. Now, is he just afraid of the Hellbats again? Well, he should at least try and attack with these roaches, because there is absolutely nothing set to defend here. Because all of your gas goes into the BC, you have absolutely nothing to hold off roaches at home. Hellions, yes, but Hellions don't exactly hold off roaches, they just die to them. They do very limited damage at least, so as we have time, heading down the bottom side, going to be running in towards this third base, going to be seeing the drones falling away, and yeah, so far the roaches remaining hidden. They are out across the map, so soO getting ready to attack with this at the moment. Stimpak starts up here from time, so getting the Stimpak going, obviously, I mean, it's all just looking towards this transition after the BC play, but there is absolutely nothing to defend these initial roaches riders. The BC will be here, actually, so we'll see how this goes. He takes down the first SCV. If he can bust through and kill 15 to 20 workers, that'd be amazing. He will bust through here as well as he gets the SCVs. Know your model cannon on this as the Ravagers will start taking some damage. SCVs immediately pull up to the high ground. Let's see what he can do. 6 workers down so far. Corrosive Bile is actually well placed to force units away. 10 workers, 11. I mean, he didn't flood other units across yet. Well, the Lings are starting to come in. The Hellions doing a good job of denying those. 11 workers denies the third base. I can get behind it. He also cleaned up the Hellions, which is oftentimes one of the big threats on the map. So the Hellions getting cleaned up too. Yeah, you know, I can get behind it. As a couple drones go down, though, the Valkyrie teleports across the map. It's time for soO to defend. 20 workers down, his lair on the way up. He's got a long time until he hits the Spire here, which is what he's going to be aiming for to get Corruptors to help deal with that set of Battlecruisers on the way up here. What's up, Cider Fusion? Thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub. Appreciate it. As we see more Lings and Roaches coming across the map. Thanks for all the wonderful SC2 content and keep up the good work. Well, thank you so much for supporting it, dude. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Much love in the chat for Cyber Fusion, please, guys. Valkyrie picks off a Croup Team off over to the left as you see the few roaches pulling back here. And again, an orbital command just setting up on the right side from time as he lifts up that orbital and moves it over into position. DC flies over into the main as we're going to be seeing it. Pick up a couple of these drones. The Spore Core finishing up as well as again the Queen's going to push away the Battlecruiser off over to the left hand side. So BDC gets pushed away to the left side. A couple of these medevacs coming down to the bottom side with Marines. One upgrades, roach speed, all of this coming in, but not ready just yet. Marine switch. Going to be greeted by a bunch of roaches. He supply blocks his opponent as he supply blocked himself. Time doing all the supply blocking in this game. A few more Marines just unloading as we do see the BC teleports out. As it gets low on HP, gets back home, and it will get repaired, although one SCV will repair it so very slowly. Might want a couple more to come in here and to help that out. And it will get ready to go again very soon, although again, just a single Battlecruiser, and for a single Battlecruiser he's done a reasonable amount of damage. Again, his upgrades are in a good little lead, 1-1 done with +2 able to start now already. Just needs to get that +2 armor started actually, as 11 more roaches are about to pop out here. Zerglings of soO go running around the left-hand side. 17 roaches coming in, and there's 8 of them finishing up. 9 more continue to come through too. Again, missile upgrades on the way, but where is the +2 armor from Time? Just forgetting about it a little bit here. Hopefully he hasn't entirely forgot about it. Well, maybe actually would be a good thing, because at the moment, he's going to need to defend against a big push. soO is continuing to make roaches. He's not going into a 4th base, or at least he's not saturating it. He's going to push with 1-1 roaches here. So you need to set up something of a wall off. Maybe some bunkers would be really good. I think bunker, and then, you know, have the tanks behind. That's the sort of way you can deal with this. Marine's going to counter drop, and that'll buy a little bit of time. There still is large army across the map, and those are obviously Marines which are not in position to deal with that large army, although he will keep some roaches from running across for a few moments. Here we go, BC in the front, going to start to deal some damage. SCVs are immediately pulled. Time realizes he needs to use the SCVs to defend this now. These other units are on their way back up as well. There's another tank coming in. Corrosive Barrel's not really connected just yet. Here we go, Marines stemming through. Tank's taking a lot of damage already. The SCVs go down so quickly. 18 workers down. And soO, well, the biggest issue I think for soO here is going to be getting rid of that battle cruiser, which is not currently happening. And I tell you what, these extra few Marines will continue to put in the work. There's extra tanks as well. I mean, it was a good job so far. He'll Corrosive Barrel and attempt to get the BC. Teleports away. Sick play, because he was actually about to lose the battle cruiser to those Corrosive Barrels. Really sick teleport there. soO will be pushed back. Time will survive. And this is a hold that might just keep Time up to kind of continue in the game with. It might be good enough for him. It might be good enough for him here. Roaches coming up to the top. Queen's coming over too. Those SCVs going to have to be careful. They're actually going to start coming in. They're going to start repairing up this battle cruiser here. Starting to prepare as you see the roaches starting to press forwards. They're going to be coming through. I mean, it's a reinforcement wave that soO is going to be having to try and win this out, and this tank count obviously isn't quite there. The battle cruiser is winning this fight against the Queens in the back. At least Corrosive Barrels only needs a couple to tag it, and it will go down. Tank behind the wall of his Time will continue to try and defend this now, but it's still just not looking pretty at all. As we're going to be seeing BC still taking damage, just down to 22 HP. Will still just about survive. Corrosive Barrels towards the front. And this wall off is now being broken down as well. Extra Ravagers morphing in. soO looking so good to maybe take game 2 of this here. He's done a lot of damage, and he'll continue with some upgrades as well, so he's not fully committed to this without upgrades continuing. So that is actually very nice as well. Just going to go and get rid of these depots on the right side. Anything you can do to slow Time down, right? I mean, it's supply blocks time, so now more depots have to come out, which is just, I mean, it's a bit of a shame, really, more than anything else. Of course, the battle's going to start trying to drop onto the BC as it starts to attack the Ravagers. I think that's just going to signify that it's time for Time to go up this ramp. He is now down on upgrades, though, so he has to be a little bit careful. Tank fire is good, and obviously pushing up the ramp is dangerous. 2 Queens still fighting against the BC, but the Marines come in to save the day. BC is going to be pushed back for the moment. Oh, Corrosive Barrel doesn't connect. Dot misses it. Battle Cruiser still fighting around. Queen coming in from the back. Marine still pushing. Queen gets taken down here. Another Corrosive Barrel drops, so it doesn't do much. And we are going to be seeing this army of Time moving around here. More roaches gathering in together. soO is just setting up again with more Ravagers. Adds on a few drones, which I can definitely get behind as well. I think a few more drones is never going to go amiss in a situation like this. A couple more Ravagers popping up. soO pressing in towards the upper right side. A tank will fire and cleans out a Zergling. Again, this BC just moving around a little bit. One more Ravager getting set to go, and again, this army of soO ready to press forwards. Of course, the Barrels doesn't quite connect on the BC just yet. Here you go, Roaches and Ravagers going to spread out. SCVs will start taking some damage. You're going to be seeing the Corrosive Barrels continue to drop in. Here we go, just pushing straight through this. Marine's taking a lot of damage right now. Wow, this is just going to be way too much, right? Too many Queens as well. I think the BC will also go down, and soO will take us to our third game of. Start off to the bottom left-hand side. Our blue Terran player. This is Time. Top right hand side, our red Zerg is soO. Whoa. Stop myself from completely singing the soundtrack this time, guys. Go me. Job well done. A job well done. Get step into this and going into this game 3. You see a few lings on the way out early again from soO to apply a little bit of early game pressure. Interested to see where the game is going to be going after the pressure this time from soO. Obviously turned it into a really aggressive 1-1 roach time in last game and just kept on looking to break his opponent with that opportunity, with what he did there. And to be fair, it did go pretty well for him. Trollpod, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub as well. Can you get some love in the chat for Trollpod? You guys have been very generous today. What's up, guys? Thank you so much for supporting the stream. A few Twitch Primes already and all of that good stuff. Obviously, if you do enjoy and enjoying the cast and the content, you guys can help it to keep happening by subscribing. If you've got a Twitch Prime sub, it costs you absolutely nothing. You can subscribe for free. So do check that out. Make sure your Twitch Prime is used up. Whether it's not on me, you use it on someone else. Click that sub button on top. If it says subscribe for free, you can subscribe for free, so make use of it. As the first couple of lings coming around. Reaper is kept at home though for time, so soO has to keep his lings away. He cannot just run in here this time. Has to be a little bit more cautious. And yeah, I mean obviously keeping the Reaper at home will pay off for this. We were just hanging up at the hanging out at the front as time is just chilling out, patrolling backwards and forwards. Again, thank you Trollpod for that Twitch Prime. ZvT going to come back home from scout and obviously saw what was up, and now the Reaper can go out on the map because the CC is finished, so you're not going to get delayed so much. There's a good few Marines on the high ground too, and actually is reactor and Marines rather than going into a set of Hellions here. He will get the tech lab on the factory after the Widow Mine. So it's going to be a drop into barracks to the tech lab. No, factory to the reactor, starport to the tech lab, then turn it into Hellion Banshee as a follow-up. He was going to be poking his way through that third hatch, and again, a couple of Queens just hanging out at the front still. A couple of Zerglings going to move forwards, and again, just going to try and chase this down, but the Reaper is going to get away out into the center. Baneland is getting dropped down here at the front as well, as we'll see that medevac loading up with Widow Mine and Marines inside. Taking that off up to the top right-hand side now. So off and away they go. Off and away they go. As you see, we'll see what this can get done here. Marines, Widow Mine, all pressing forwards. BenPG26, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub as well. Appreciate the support, dude. Thank you for on the channel. Glad you're enjoying the content. Welcome. As you see, the Widow Mine will go off on a Queen there. That's a nice little spike of damage as Marines can turn to protect it as well. Overall, all good, but obviously this is going to continue with further aggression coming up very shortly. We do have the Cloak Banshees getting set up as Ling sneaking as well, and that depot is not raised, so CV's having to pull away until a couple of Hellions come out here to protect. And they're going to be here in a moment or two. There we go, one Hellion pops out, another Hellion pops out. And actually, I mean, quite a few SCVs killed though. That's 8 workers lost here so far. As we're going to be seeing on the other side of the map. Marines going down to the Banes there. Banshee gets picked up too. Not a successful attack from all from time. A bit too busy perhaps dealing with that attack on the other side. Gives soO the opportunity to break through that attack. And actually really takes very little damage at all. Deals with this very quickly. Absolutely awesome. Hey, BenPG26, who also says thank you, Wardy, for all of the great content. Thank you so much for supporting it, dude. Again, really goes a long way to helping us make more content. And Terriel Blub. There we go. Thank you so much for Twitch Prime sub, as well as just Twitch Prime City up in here today, guys. Thank you so much for the Twitch Primes. Thank you so much to Real Blood, just coming in there with one as well. I'll also get you a decoration written out as we continue to watch how this game goes. I mean, obviously very unfortunate so far for the time, though. Those Lings came in at a perfect time just before the wall was completed, and I mean, the Lings coming in and all the rest of it has really led to us being at this point now where, as this Banshee gets pushed away, it's, it gets to this point now where time is playing from a bit of a deficit. His early aggression didn't really do anything, and, you know, then his, you know, he took some damage himself at the same time, and, yeah, it definitely is not looking all too pretty here. Senna preferred CC and is going to play Mech, so we'll have to see how soO's response to Mech is going to be. There's a start to get back into games with Mech is definitely it, as a low health medevac saves those few Hellions from what was definitely going to be a lot of danger there, so good save for the moment, but again, it's not exactly like he got in and dealt damage, right? Banshee just hanging out to the top side, has no energy to cloak up or anything though, so also has to be very careful at the moment. Spire here from soO. Is that something which Time knows about? He does not. Building the double 4 right away is, or was it just a single 4? It was just a single 4. I guess that works out here for the moment. So Iria, my love, how you doing? Thank you so much for the gifted sub. Hits My Tom How How with it. Thank you so much, and welcome My Tom How How to the Wardy family as well. We're just on a bit of a sub train here at the moment, aren't we? Just can't get a moment away. Thank you so much, Syria. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Let's see this Cyclone locking on. It is going to be able to kill off an Overlord. Another Overlord goes down too, but the first Mirrors are about to show up, and this is where time is really going to be tested. Mirrors arrive into the mineral line missile turret here though, and you know what, counter-attack at the same time. There's not a lot up to defend a counter. A few Roaches, but that's so many Hellions. Before is boosting back over to help out with this defense. The Mirrors shouldn't be able to do much more. The Roaches, I mean, the Hellions have just stopped dead in their tracks. Time is being distracted by something else. Now more Roaches arrive, so this is going to be a good defense here. You see those Zerglings coming through. Cyclones locking on. We will see a few of these Mutants getting picked away at now. Going to be seeing extra Zerglings going down as well, and again Hellions roasting the Lings that were here, but for the most part switching into Roaches obviously means that these Hellions are not going to have such a good time in the future. And already tank production on the way, and also Hyperflight Rotors are going to go into the Banshee setup now. Banshee is something that can help a lot, especially, I mean, once the Mutants are gone they'll be great, but it's something we've seen a lot of, this kind of Hellion Cyclone style, the Banshee production, or sometimes you see BCs if you open BCs and you continue BCs, I suppose. The Hellions dropping down as we're going to be seeing the Queens in position. Going to be able to get quite a bit of damage though. One drone going down. Still a couple of drones taking some hits. On the bottom side of the map, Roaches and Banes are going to try and burst through. I mean, there's a very expensive wall off here. There's a lot of supply in it that's dropped called down supply. There's something that's very painful. The Ravagers though will be pushed away by the Banshees. Well, the Mutalisks, well, they are on their way over, but there's an Overseer there as well. The Banshees pick up a good few kills for themselves. Fusion Core on the way down. Probably not for BCs, probably for Lib. Well, maybe. Actually, possibly is, actually, now that I look at this. Is he really going to switch into the BCs already? Okay. I just feel like he's in a very weak spot to switch into BCs. Feels like it's kind of the time where soO could maybe just break him. 15 Swarm Hosts on the way. We'll see how well Time deals with this. No, more Banshees for the moment, but I guess Fusion Core is also not done just yet. So Banshees can be a great response to the Swarm Host, especially if you can get away with not being kind of keeping the Banshees kind of away from the Mutas for a while. Mutas, for the moment, saving the day though, is this hatchery was something that Time dove on. Man, he could have killed so many drones here, but instead he tried to dive for the hatchery. I don't like it, because the chances of Queens being nearby enough with transfusions is quite high. I think Time should have recognized that that was probably not a great idea from the start. But, buying him some time, keeping his opponent busy as we see the battle cruisers on the way now. However, with Swarm Host pushing across, those waves of Locust are going to be extremely deadly. the scan here is just going to be seeing the Banshee. Doing a little bit of damage. Did he cancel the other Banshees? He did. So he's only got that one Banshee remaining at the moment here. There you go. Swarm's Locust dropping down. He doesn't have Infernal Pre-Igniter. Doesn't get that bonus damage to the Locust, even though the Hellbats still clean up pretty quickly. It would be probably worth getting Infernal Pre-Igniter based on how this game's going to start going. If those Locusts just going to be consistently flying in every 45 seconds or so. Swarm's just chilling out. You see the Banshee able to pick up a Ravager kill there, and then going for a little bit more, going to get another Ravager as well. So a couple of Ravagers picked off. This army still just chilling on the edge of the creep spread. On the bottom side, Planetary Fort is set up, and there's the Swarm Host dropping some Locusts up into the sky. Say dropping them up, flinging them up. You see these Hellbats coming in already, picking off a few of those Locusts as well. And as again, the BCs coming across through the center also. Gonna jump on towards this Overseer here. Overseer goes down. Another lock on towards a couple of Mutalisks, and the Witches and the Ravagers trying to come in to defend this now also. Plus free vehicle plating on the armory. As again, Hellions have pulled all the way back. Those Roaches back in towards the left. And we go from here. And time holding on right, and he gets himself a 4th base as well, which is very important. We'll see if he can hold on to that, because the Swarm Hosts are setting up to kill it. A few Roaches going to run by this top side too. Missile turrets on the way up. Units already on the way down to the bottom. He is kind of aware of this attack perhaps before the Sensor Tower even came up into play. That only just finished now. Again, tries to die for the Planetary, but it doesn't quite happen. So soO not making much progress, but he is getting himself set up towards Corruptors behind this. He has got himself a large bank. And obviously he's keeping the Terran player focused back at home. So he kind of has all the time in the world to set himself up into his follow-up and to see where he goes with this. A few BCs on the way in. And as we're going to be seeing the Roaches and the Ravagers. Still just hanging out on the bottom side. Hellions are going to start coming through the top here from time. Going to grab themselves a Zergling, and again a few Mutalisks wanting to come over to clean up some of these Hellions as well. Locusts jump up and start to move forwards. Missile turrets will obviously help to defend this also. I mean, the Hellion run-bys are a nice idea, but soO's so well prepared with those spine crawlers. Thing is though as well, these Locusts just aren't doing anything time after time, and I think time is kind of happy to sit back and just build battle cruisers, because he knows in the long run mass battle cruiser is pretty freaking good. Now one thing I'd love to see added into this though is a Raven. Anti-armor missile on Corruptors, because of how fast BCs attack. Anti-armor missile in general on any unit is going to make those BCs just deal so much more damage. It'll really be quite insane. As we do have the Model Cannon hits a Corruptor. Locust popping up again, so here we go, pressing forwards here. Locust BCs, all of this starting to fight away at the moment as we see a teleport on top of the Corruptors. I'm not sure if that was kind of how this was meant to go, actually. In fact, I've got absolutely no idea if this is how this was meant to go. Maybe just stop them kiting away. Asking as the Corruptors down, and soO's army has disappeared, but he has a huge bank, remember. And he will instantly rebuild 20 Corruptors now his supply is freed up. Spending that bank right away here as the BCs getting to work. Only +1 ship weapons, +2 just finished actually, with +3 vehicle plating. So they are very tanky. A bunch of the crews on the bottom side. The Swarm Hosts hide away. Plug Banshees coming around the top, trying to deal some damage, but again, Queen should be able to defend this. As Locusts are found here, BCs are going to come over and kill some of the Locusts. Oh my god, the Fours just ran into it though. Oh, those Locusts actually getting a little bit more done than actually any of the Locusts this game probably so far. Still chasing down a 4 as we see more of these Corruptors gathering up in the skies. BC's cleaning up just a little bit further as here we go. Corruptor's going to start running forwards. BC's probably want to get out of here at the moment. Raven is on the way up but isn't here yet to drop that anti-arm missile. BC's obviously used their teleport attack in the previous round of Corruptors. So now BC after BC goes down, and the rebuild here from soO is looking very good for him. He's just diving on top of turrets to continue cleaning out battle cruisers. And battle cruisers start to teleport away. He's going to realize, okay, well, let's get out of here. He's still denying this base over here, and that should be something he's very happy about. BC's chase forwards, the Corruptors will get back on their tail just for a second. 7 SCVs down, 5th base denied. And soO will hold a strong position here. More Hydras and more Corruptors on the way. And soO gets ready for the next wave of this. I mean, the issue is the BCs do take a long time to build, and they are expensive, so it takes forever for time to rebuild the BCs that he had here once before. And you can see the resources lost. A 4,000 resources difference. Income will be slightly soO favored as well. soO is absolutely taking all the boxes right now to be able to take this down. Someone was backing away a little bit. Corruptors and Hydras going to be coming over, and we are going to be seeing those Hydras able to pick their way through the rocks here. So Rock's going to go down. Logan's going to pop up, and they're going to start coming down to the south. We see those BCs. When you get ready to fight this, you're going to see the Force firing away. Locust dropping on in. There's not many Hellbats here, I'll tell you that. So actually, he's not going that brilliantly. Anti-armor missile did hit the Corruptors, but soO is so smart. He knows that as soon as that anti-armor missile is on the Corruptors, the last thing he wants to actually do is to push into this. So he immediately begins to pull back. No messing around there for him. Very nicely done, as we're going to see. Oh, well, I'll tell you what though, Banshee's finding these Swarm Hosts. Finally, Time finds a little bit of a moment here for himself, and obviously is on the way in. Well, that was nice, but it wasn't really enough. It got denied pretty quickly, honestly. Attempting to retake this 5th base now. Hydras are so near to it. So we're going to have this push in. Again, the Locust coming in from the top side. Just buys time for the Hydras to just deal the damage here without anything else really happening. Corruptors will fly in, but masses of Yamato cannons doesn't really seem to matter, does it? The Raven gets taken down as well. That's an expensive 200 gas unit. And a game where Time barely has any gas, replacing that is actually very difficult. Doesn't take down the base. Planetary Fortress repair is good. But obviously, I mean, soO can just back away, wait for the next wave of Locust. He's going to come in with even more Corruptors again to deal with the rebuilt battle cruisers. And honestly, again, like, soO is just in complete control of this one. He still has a bank to play with. He still has bases coming up around the map as well, continuing to establish those. soO looking to advance from this Masters Coliseum group in 1st place. soO actually finished in the semi-finals of the last Masters Coliseum. Interesting enough, having played Time in the semi-finals and beat him 3-0 back then. The tournament was won by... sorry, soO didn't finish in the semi-finals. He finished in 2nd place, of course he did. He finished in 2nd place to Zest, who was also in this group, of course. So, yeah, soO taking 2nd place in this tournament last time around. And there was a 4-3 finals. This is actually really sick finals that happened. We're seeing those Locusts or Swarm Hosts moving forwards here. 10 more Corruptors, 10 more Hydralisks on the way out. So continue to get this going, as we do see, well, Locusts dropping down, ready to break through this again perhaps. Getting rid of them with these anti-air units right away is really nice. The fours, the missile turrets, etc. Starting to bring Spore Crawlers forwards as well. Doesn't look like he'll attack him with this wave of Locusts. But probably going to try and do something else. Got some more spores getting set up. Well, Four's actually doing a pretty good job of shutting this down. There isn't actually an answer to those Fours. I wonder if even getting a Great Spire just to build like a couple of Broodlords to keep the Fours away would be nice. Like 4 or 5 Broodlords here I think would be a nice little addition to consistently apply pressure, especially on this base here where you can stay above creeping units very easily. I feel that'd be a nice investment. Maybe we'll see that soon as the fly upgrades finish. He'll go towards the Great Spire. He's going to teleport back on top of this army. GC's here initially taken down very quickly. And well, again, that just doesn't work out at all. Time taps out GG. It was kind of an inevitability that was building up.